the grand finale of today's stream, and it is Scott time. It is time, chat, for Kentucky Ballistics. This is what I'm talking about. I saved this. I didn't have everything. Oh, Pizza Man, thank you for the follow. I was saving this. That's why I was kind of going easy on the rest of the videos today. I wanted to save this one for the grand finale. So this is his new one. This is his concrete bullets. Or concrete shotgun shifts. He's gonna be a good one, chat, so let's fucking go. In 3, 2, 1. Is that a marker? Oh my god. Men against tape. They're coming for him. They're coming for him, chat. After all this time, they're coming for him for his table abuse.
Yes, sir. I have located his new property. No sign of him yet. And everything seems to be... Oh. I think I'm gonna be sick, sir. He's got a whole table graveyard. Oh.
Oh my god.
Sir, he's just destroyed another one. We gotta stop him. Well, we're gonna need backup. He's out of control.
The poor rooster. Oh my god, he just leveled that rooster. His wings came off. Dear God, Scott, why are you so mean?
What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics.
Hi, Scott!
And here on the channel, I have tested out a lot of unique ammunition. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. But today I have some very unique ammo on purpose. When it comes to shotguns, my favorite shotgun is the almighty 10-gauge shotgun. And today we have concrete 10-gauge slugs and 10-gauge concrete buckshot. I am very excited to see how it performs and see how it compares to lead ammunition.
I'm very curious too, because I'm gonna make an initial prediction here. We'll see how right I am. I have a bad feeling that against our targets, that buckshot is gonna break up. The slugs will probably do a bit better, but I feel like the buckshot will break up because the concrete is just gonna be... I mean, it's not lead. It's not as solid as lead. On soft body targets, it's gonna destroy it. I do think on soft body targets, it's gonna destroy it just as good as lead is, but against hard targets, I think it might shatter. Depending upon the target in question, I think it might shatter.
So let's go get set up and get started. It is a hot one today. But you know what they say, it's not the heat, it's the humidity that'll get you. Anyways, we are gonna start out by shooting some steel with our concrete slugs and buckshot.
Okay.
So this is our 10-gauge concrete slug. This thing weighs 180 grains. Normally, a lead slug is weighing around...
House guest, I hope he does. Yeah, okay, yes, Corey, that's exactly my point. Concrete is more brittle. And it is more malleable. But at the same time, lead is also, it's more solidly formed. Whereas concrete is basically, this is being grossly oversimplistic. Concrete is basically sort of glued together sand. Again, that is being extremely basic. But that means that even when it's hardened together, it still is going to break apart much easier, whereas lead is basically a liquid metal. So while it's more malleable, it is not as prone to breaking apart. So yeah, I have a strong feeling. I don't know if it's gonna crumble like a cookie. Like I said, I think against soft targets it will do well. But I do think against hard targets, I do think it's just gonna shatter. I have a very strong suspicion it will shatter because of it. It is. Yeah, concrete is very porous. Yeah, let's find out.
Like 765 grains. And then here is our 10 gauge concrete buckshot. These are also very light. We're looking at about 140 grains total. Okay, the shotgun I am using today is a New England Firearms single shot 10 gauge shotgun. And
True, Corey, it is lighter.
With the lead buckshot. Gonna be lead on the left, concrete on the right. Here we go.
Okay. Boom.
Okay, now the concrete buckshot. I'm sure it's not going to kick as hard as the lead.
Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my god, it's...
Wow, that was...
Like, it didn't even look like all of it hit. I wonder if some of those pellets blew up right at firing. If the gunpowder explosion in the shell actually blew up several of them. Yeah. No, a couple of them hit. 6, a couple of them hit. Look here. There's one pellet right there. I think like 2 or 3. Then deck it up. 1, maybe 2. Maybe 2. Yeah, they all blew up right in the barrel. It couldn't handle the explosion from the gunpowder. Did it? Hang on, let me back it up. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Got one there. Okay, what you're seeing, I don't think they were intact. I think that was just them. I think it had only one pellet. Only one pellet hit the blue target. The rest of the pellets just basically disintegrated, and just the force of the shotgun blast was shoving those remnants into the target. So I think that's what you saw hitting on red, was just remnants of the concrete. So probably little bits of concrete from the pellets that just caught with the wider spread. So yeah, it was like just shrapnel. Yeah, so it was like shrapnel from the pellets, but only one actual pellet hit the blue target, and that's all it seemed to exist.
It was actually a lot more stout than I thought it would be. Well, I'm gonna say the concrete buckshot maybe a little too small for the 10 gauge. I think it just pretty much turned it to powder, but the lead buckshot,
yeah,
pretty good. Okay, now for the moment of truth, we are going to try out the slug. I'm going to go lead slug first. On the left.
See that hit from here? Oh yeah, boom. That's a nice solid hit. And yeah, house guest, I'm not surprised either, but I also was hoping for better than what we saw. It is, Corey. It's that ding sound is very satisfying.
I love 10 gauge so much. Now, concrete slug.
Okay. All right. So, based on what happened with the pellets, I think the slug, I don't think it's going to 100% disintegrate, but I do think he's going to lose about half of the round from disintegration. Um, and then the rest of it's probably going to shatter on the target. That's what I'm thinking. It's not going to impact anywhere as hard as the lead
I
round
hope I'm
is.
not let down. Here we go.
Yep. Nope, it hit. It hit right here. Let me back it up. How much of it was left? Hang on, I'm gonna super slow-mo it. Not much of that was left. Let's see. Here. And not much of that. Oh, nothing was left of it. That's all shrapnel. That was all shrapnel. It actually disintegrated. It pulverized it in the barrel. Yeah, it pulverized it in the barrel and didn't do anything. All that came, there was a few small chunks, basically the size of that buckshot. That was all that was left. It didn't do a thing.
I
Disappointing.
think something hit it. Okay, so 10 gauge concrete buckshot, not so effective, but the concrete 10 gauge slug actually held together and put a pretty good mark on that steel target. I mean, obviously, lead is looking superior, but I'm very curious to see what kind of damage we are doing with a concrete 10 gauge slug. But before we continue, I want to give a big thank you to all of you who came out to my
Oh
meet
yeah,
and greet at the 511 Tactical Store in Nashville, Tennessee.
yeah. It would hurt like hell, Ace. Absolutely. But I mean, I'm guessing he's doing ballistic dummies next. I'm really curious if that shrapnel is going to be hitting with enough force to cause serious injury because it's all pulverizing. Uh, uh, yeah. The the shot cup, yeah, the shot cup is making doesn't make any further than the concrete. I'm at this point, I'm starting to lose hope for the kind of effect it's going to have on a soft target. Yeah. Well, who knows?
It was a huge turnout. I had a ton of fun, and it was wonderful meeting every single one of you. And I want to give a big thank you to 511 for hosting me. If you would like
It
to
is,
see more
Corey.
meet
It
and
is.
greets, let
Look,
me
they're a
know
big
in the
name
comment
brand.
section down below. And be sure and show 511 some love for hosting this event. Check them out with the link in the description down below and use my code 511KYB to get 20% off all non-sale items. And this is good until June 30th. Again, a huge thank you to 511.
No, 6, we still got another 13 minutes left. This is not the end. He's just doing a mid video ad, that's all. He does it, he does it.
11 for sponsoring this video, and a big thank you to all of you who showed up and support the channel. Now let's get back to it.
Oh god, the table.
Not bad, but I am gonna have to work on the height I can get from throwing my table because I didn't quite make it. All right. I say we
Okay.
shoot some ballistic gel. This is a
Yes!
16-inch, 10% clear ballistic gel block made by Clear Ballistics. I'm gonna get this set up on the table here and see what kind of penetration we get out of our concrete slugs. I know you probably want to see some chronograph readings though, but unfortunately I kind of had a little bit of a whoopsie today. Pull!
Actually, as far as his chronograph goes, I don't think he'd get a reading. I honestly don't think he'd get a reading from the chronograph with these. Do it to me. But considering that the buckshot and the considering the buckshot and the slug both kind of disintegrated, I don't even think he'd get it. I don't even think he'd get a chronograph reading on it, honestly.
Okay, let's hit this block with our 10 gauge concrete slug. Here we go.
Wow. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Now, granted, that impact would hurt. Let's do a slow-mo again. That impact would hurt. But, yeah, you're not getting all that much penetration.
Let's have a look at our block here. We actually did not penetrate very deep. It hit the block and then it broke up quite a bit. If you look right here.
And yeah, this would definitely put someone on their ass. And the penetration actually is the amount of penetration this got. No, I don't think it would be missing a limb. It would be enough to be concerning. Um, whether or not it would be lethal is a question. That would very much depend on where you get. Of course, if it was a headshot, there's headshot or neck shot. Yes, of course, there's much more lurker.
FBI, open up!
Yeah, center mass, pretty much anywhere, but anywhere from like the shoulders down would hurt, but I don't think would be lethal. I hopefully he tests on a ballistics gel dummy with bone to see how that would how effective the pen, because this is just pure gel. If you had bones in way as a secondary barrier, I don't know if it would get much past bone. So
that block is very, very chewed up. It's so gritty. Look at that.
yeah. And that is a factor too. That's a factor. Not simply the penetration, but look at the concrete getting embedded in the quote unquote skin. That is another factor. Yeah, to definitely trip to the ER, like you would probably have to. Yeah. Also, true me. This is like the concrete broken up like this is another factor that could cause like infection. This could potentially cause some pretty serious infection too. And yeah, getting it removed would be a nightmare for any ER doc. Like they probably have to surgically remove all this and maybe give you a skin graft to get rid of all of this concrete. So that is another factor.
Oh. Okay. Concrete 10 gauge buckshot.
Is this the shot cup? Is that that looks like yeah, the shot cup is probably doing just as much damage as the concrete is at this point.
The concrete buckshot at close range was actually pretty effective. And
Now, that's another thing he just mentioned that's not been taken into account. This is at close range. If this was if he was not at close range, you wouldn't even be getting this. If he was at the range where he was at prior, I don't think you'd get any kind of penetration whatsoever. You'd get like a stinging. If he was at his original range when he did his first test fires, it would sting probably like someone mentioned earlier, like getting hit with rock salt. But I think that's it. Well, wait, that's the question. That is the question. Uh, oh, for God's sake.
Bruh.
You're killing me here, Smalls. You are killing me here. But yeah, from his original shooting distance, I don't think we'd even get this. I think you just get like a peppering, like a surface peppering, and that's it. Close range, yeah, you're doing some damage, but that was that it did. The slug absolutely had more force, but again, it was close range. If he did double the range of where he was at when he was shooting this gel, I'm not even sure you'd get this. Could be. I don't know.
and honestly, it penetrated about as deep as the slug. So now I'm kind of curious, what will this 10 gauge concrete buckshot do at a point blank range?
Well, okay. Now we're not talking so much about the slug, it's more of the pressure from the barrel. So, and honestly, I think the shotgun's gonna do more.
Our mannequin.
That's some very thin plastic right there. From the distance he was at, I don't think so. The distance he was at, I don't think was close enough for a blank for the gas pressure of a blank to reach. Yeah, this is very thin. And even though it's all powder, it's still, just like when he did the close range shot, from that distance, it's still compact enough that it's able to create an impact like that. So from close distance, or he wasn't actually quite point blank, I would say. Maybe a touch closer to be point blank, but you're still close enough that all that powder has not had time to expand outward. So it's still a solid enough, it's still together enough as a collective with the gas combined and the shot cup to create this kind of damage. Buckshot's probably gonna do the same thing.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. And you know what else is awesome? Subscribing to Kentucky Ballistics. Hit that subscribe button. All right, that's enough of that scientific stuff. Let's just have some fun and blast some interesting targets. This is 1 gallon of Elmer's glue, and we're gonna hit it with a concrete 10 gauge slug. I am a little close. That's because these don't seem to be very accurate.
No. I do not think this is gonna do much. I don't foresee this doing too much. Because this is gonna be, I think this will be a bit thicker than this. I don't see this doing a whole hell of a lot, honestly.
All right, here we go.
It caught the corner here, it looks like.
Oh. So, hit a little to the left. Did not go all the way through it.
No,
But
I didn't expect it
still
to.
did a little bit of damage. What is this? Oh, that's the wadding. Ew. Gross.
Yeah, the wadding is doing the damage here. Don't want to, as I'd like to butt this up, would it work better maybe if you loaded the blank and then a concrete slug like a musket? Honestly, Corey, I'm thinking no. Um, it yeah, it's the problem. The problem is, Corey, is that the concrete is basically disintegrating from the shot force from gunpowder. So even if you loaded a blank, you're still going to get the same thing because you're still getting that explosive force that the concrete just can't stand up to. Because it's disintegrating in the barrel. So loading it, loading a blank into the breech and then putting a concrete round down the barrel. Number one, the round's not gonna stay there, because it's gonna be rolling all over the place. But it's still gonna the amount of explosive pressure is still gonna disintegrate it. It's still gonna pulverize the concrete and just turn it into powder before it even leaves the barrel. So you're gonna end up with the same result.
Now we're going to do a destruction comparison. I have two 6-pound containers of
Okay.
Dijon mustard. I'm going to hit one with the concrete slug and one with a lead slug. Okay, concrete slug first on the left.
Alright, well, it made it through the plastic, which is thin plastic. That's not a surprise.
All right. This is about to be a lot bigger.
Oh, this can be good.
Rounds, 10 gauge slug.
Old Davy.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
This one tried.
Say lead is a little more destructive.
Holy shit. It popped it like a grapefruit. Holy, that's beautiful. Yeah, 100 times more. Oh, hell yeah. Well, because it was an actual intact slug that hit the thing. Holy shit.
So,
Ugh.
10 gauge, 10 gauge concrete slug seems to be pulling to the left, and again, did not make it all the way through that giant thing of mustard.
Ew.
But the 10 gauge lead slug did a fantastic job at busting that up. And there is mustard all over the place. I mean, we have quite the spread. Dijon mustard, huh?
He has got to be so hot. I'm guessing this is him sweating. He must be so hot out there today.
No, I don't like it. So next, we're going to shoot something a little bit thicker. I have 1-gallon containers of
Wise
mayonnaise,
decision.
and they are real extra heavy, like me. That's why I'm sweating so much.
No? No, baby Jeebus, it's him sweating. Oh, and, you look lonely. Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
Gonna go with concrete slug on the left again. This time I'm gonna aim a little to the right. There we go.
Okay. That was kind of impressive, honestly. That was a little impressive.
That was much better. Now for the lead slug. Here we go. Oh!
Goodbye. Holy shit! It's Mount Mayonnaise! Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's probably mayonnaise on my back. Well,
It had to be done, chat. It had to be done.
Oh, well, I thought I protected my gun, but I didn't. I got mayonnaise on my gun. Lead slug definitely wins again, but this time I had a better hit with the concrete slug, and I feel like we did a little more damage that time. Well, that's going to be it for the main course. I say we move on to dessert. Now I have...
I mean, the mayonnaise, it was impressive that it hit with enough force to pop that top off. Going on the assumption that it was properly screwed down, that's actually pretty impressive that it hit with enough force to pop that top off like it did. So I will give it as props. That was impressive.
2 6-pound cans of chocolate pudding. My guess is the concrete slug is not going to do much to this one, but we are going to try it out anyways. But I think the lead slug is probably going to pop it.
Yeah, I mean, this one's going to be fun. This one, I mean, this is metal. It's not hard, it's not very hard metal, but it is metal, which can obviously withstand much better than plastic. Yeah, pretty much.
Concrete slug first.
Hey, wow. Oh, he was very low. That was very low. Did he even hit it? Like right here?
Yeah, didn't do a whole lot. Now, lead slug on the right. You can't have your pudding unless you eat your meat. Oh!
Oh, Jesus! Oh, they peeled it right open. Holy
that
shit!
That is exactly why I love 10 gauge. She be kicking. Let's have a look
Yeah.
at what's left of this can. I am actually quite surprised because we almost made it into the can. I didn't think that it would even puncture it. I thought it would just kind of break up on it and bust it up, but...
That actually, when you have the close-up, that looks like it made it in. This looks like it actually made, that looks like a hole. It looks like it might have actually made it into the can. Ayaki. Yeah. I think it might have actually made it into the can on that one. Whereas, of course, the other can, he just ripped it apart like it was nothing.
Even puncture it. I thought it would just kind of break up on it and bust it up, but no, actually did a little bit of damage. Oh, come on. Need a little bit extra on there.
Squishy.
This guy's not having a great day. I mean, he's missing part of his face, and now he just got sprayed with pudding. So I know we probably are not going to do too much damage with our concrete ammunition, but I still want to take a few shots at our armored car because I'm curious. Okay, first up.
Oh, this is not gonna do a goddamn thing. I'm surprised if any of the shrapnel even hits this. This is not gonna do a thing to it.
Is the buckshot. I'm gonna go for the star.
Something hit it.
Now for the concrete slug. Gonna aim for the center of the star.
And it turned into buckshot. It turned into fucking buckshot. The concrete slug turned into buckshot. Yeah, Blackfire, that's like a breaching shotgun. It's basically an anti-air barrel stuck onto a shotgun frame.
So we had a decent spread with our concrete buckshot. We actually had quite a few hits. One here, 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 here. I think that would probably
But that's not the buckshot. He thinks that's the buckshot. That ain't the buckshot. That's from the slug. The slug turned into buckshot. That's the funny part. What a flower.
Here, spread with.
Where? Duke, where are you talking about? Yeah, 'cause here's the buckshot. Wait, there's like no impact. It was all powder.
Now for the concrete slug. You're gonna aim for the center of the star.
Yeah. What he's detecting? No, what he's
So
detecting is buckshot?
Spread with our concrete buckshot. We actually had quite a few hits.
What he's
One
detecting
here,
as buckshot
here,
was
here,
actually
here,
the slug.
Here, I think that would.
Those are all impacts from the slug shrapnel. It was all shrapnel from the slug that hit there. That wasn't the buckshot. Yeah, exactly, Six. It's slug fragments.
Probably sting if you got hit with that at this distance. And then as for our slug, I managed to hit right here in the center of this O, and that was totally on purpose. So now I want to see what kind of damage we can do with some 10 gauge copper plated buckshot.
Oh
Go
boy.
for that little winder. Oh, ho, ho.
Oh my god. Did it get through? Right up here.
Let's
It looked
give
like it might have gotten through.
I'm gonna go for the star.
Holy shit.
All right, one more. Let's go for the little peephole.
That one's hard to see, but more the window.
So for a little while now, I've been questioning what is this truck actually rated for? I mean, a 416 Rigby zipped right through it. Punt gun did some damage to it, but it took a slug to really do some damage. And then the other day, a snub nose 50 AE made it through this thing and did this big hole right here. But it looks like with a 10 gauge shotgun,
you watch that,
you would probably be okay. Stopped all our buckshot. That's actually really cool. That's a good pattern. It kept it all within that star. Then we hit our glass, and it held up to it. And then I aimed for a little peephole here. We actually put a pretty big dent in this frame that goes around it, and then all of this through here. So I know now that this truck is at least rated for shotguns. All right.
Well, I don't think any civilian truck, even armored, is going to be rated for a punt gun and a goddamn 50 AE. Even pistol caliber 50 AE. You know, even a pistol caliber like 50 AE. I don't think any armored, civilian armored truck is going to be rated to be able to handle that.
Right, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, let me know what you thought about the 10 gauge concrete slugs in the comment section down below. Also, be sure and check me out on all other social media platforms. Links to those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up a shirt. But I promise you, yours will not be this sweaty.
I don't know. I'm thinking some of his viewers might want that sweaty old shirt of his. Right off his back, maybe. I'm guessing a few of his viewers might want that. I mean, it worked for Belle Delphine, for God's sake. I think it could probably work for him. Yeah, well, not you guys. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking from logic, Lurker. Logic. If God knows how many people made Belle Delphine thousands because she sold her fucking bathwater. Yes, there is a part of the population that would love to have this sweaty shirt right off of Scott's back. I have little doubt.
Okay, I'm starting to get concerned. I think the table companies are watching because these tables here lately have been a lot tougher.
But hi, he's adding to the corpse pile.
And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. I'll see you next time.
Yay! A wonderful video, as always, Scott's.